Alright folks, so I'm trying to figure out, contemplate how I want to lay this out here for a Chevelle. And this is the fender I really want to use for the passenger side. But this fender over here and the fender right here came off a 66 Malibu 4-door. And I think it was a hardtop, I think. But they came off that. You can see where somebody pinstriped it a long time ago. They were both pinstriped, but I don't know, that's kind of neat. Looks like it's been pinstriped a couple times, but I don't know. But like blue, I guess. I don't know. That's definitely not automotive paint. I know that for sure. But look, it's still got some of the duct tape from shipping on it. That's crazy. 66 Chevelle, number 25 or something. I don't know. But I got these fenders. That fender, well, actually all of them, but that fender, this fender, all for next to nothing. I think I only gave $50 for both of them. And you know, that's back when things were fairly priced, people weren't greedy. And you know, this was, hot rodding was kind of fun then. And back here in 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. And it's hard to believe, but 10 years ago. But yep, it's when prices were fair, people weren't greedy, and you know, that kind of thing. Now people have taken the hot rod hobby and ruined it, I think. And you know, kind of turned it into an investment, like a stock in a stock market. It's just nuts, and it's taking the fun out. Kind of ruined the hobby, really. But I'm not doing this for a hobby. I'm doing this for me, so I got a good vehicle to drive back and forth to work. And you know, I like to drive my stuff. I don't like to, you know, this ain't a hobby. This is the real world. So anyway, I've been digging out my fenders here, trying to figure out what's what here and what I'm going to do. So we got a messed up spot here on the passenger side fender. And then, you know, typical rot in the bottom. All of them got rot in the bottom. That one's got rot there. This one's got rot there. This one's got pretty excessive rot right there. And I do have two 67 fenders as well. And no, I don't want to put them on there. I want to make this a 66. But you know, I couldn't put those fenders on there if I wanted anyway, because like a dummy, I had a 66. I mean, not a 66. I had a 67 hood. And you know, I gave it away like an idiot because it was rotted too bad. And now I look back at it, it really wasn't that bad. You know, it just, that's why I hold on to stuff now. I don't care how rotted it is. I just don't let go of it anymore because it's too hard to find, and I'm getting tired of paying top dollar for everything, and everybody thinks they got gold. But I wish I would have kept it. But if I did want to make it a 67, I couldn't do it anyway because I didn't have a radiator support either. So, or the wheel housings, because they're a little different too. I'm pretty sure they are. But couldn't do it anyway. So, I don't know. It might be the same. I don't know. I'm questioning that. But I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So, this is what I'm laying out here. So, this fender, I really wanted to use this fender right here, this black one here, because this one's a lot better for a couple reasons. Let me show you why. Is, first of all, somebody drilled holes in this and pulled this back out. This fender was on the car, and they were too lazy to unbolt it to, you know, hammer and dolly that back out like they should have did. They just drilled a bunch of holes in it. So they drilled, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 holes in it. And you know, instead of just taking the fender off and straightening and hammering that back out like they should have did with a body hammer, they just took a slide hammer, drilled holes in it, and just took a slide hammer and pulled it back out. You can tell exactly what they did there. So this fender is, you know, it's got a good area right there. So I really, you know, in this situation, you don't want to be chopping fenders up to fix one good one, because this stuff is too rare, and you know, get tired of paying top dollar for everything. People think they got gold, but it's got a good area right here. And you know, the rot doesn't matter because they both got rot. I don't care about that, so I'm not worried about that. So I don't know. The rot's about, this one's, the brace is a little better on, a little better, and this one is, I don't know, ain't much better. But I'm not worried about that. That could be fixed. It's not really a big deal there. But both got rot, regardless how you look at it. But it's good right here, but it's got a crinkle right in here where the flag and all that's going to go. I think this is actually off the Super Sport, which, you know, that doesn't really make it any more special. It's still got the molding on it. But I wouldn't be against running the moldings on here. I don't know. I mean, I could always drill holes and put them back in if I ever want it, but I think I'm going to weld them up. We'll see. But that's got the crinkle here. The front part right here, the lower part of the fender is, I don't know, it's pretty trashed. So, but I got a smiley face right there where it's crinkled. So, I don't know, it's pretty messed up there. So this one on this side is pretty good. I mean, it's really nothing wrong with it on the lower front of this, and they're dirty, but I mean, it's a little rot, but like in the bottom right in here, but it ain't, you know, just pitted. That's about it. But that's, you know, very clean. You can tell where I missed it. Didn't get primer all over it, but that's all right. I ain't worried about it. But this side is really good, and I really don't want to be cutting, you know, that section off there, because I was contemplating that, is cutting that section off there and putting it on this fender, and then just fixing the bottom of it and calling it good. Because the other reason too is this fender over here has the antenna hole, which y'all already know I'm not a fan of that. I just don't like them. But it's got the antenna hole there. This fender never had it originally, so the antenna was on the back of the car, and you can tell nobody's welded that up because it still does have the hole there, so that's interesting. So it has the hole, it was just never punched out, so that's kind of neat to see one that's never been disturbed. But this fender is, I don't know, it's not terrible. I mean, it's fairly decent, so I don't know. This is the one I really prefer to use, even though I just spent all that time cleaning this one up. But see, you don't know, that's the thing too, is you really don't know until I knew it had something going on right in here, but you really don't know until you get everything down to bare metal of what you're dealing with, because that's why you got to take this stuff down to bare metal, because you don't know what's been done over the past, you know, 50, you know, some years of, you know, how much filler, and, you know, people have done hacked and packed on it and everything else, but got lucky. I mean, really, that's the worst spot, is right there. So, I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, just cut the piece out of this fender. Just cut that piece out of there and just weld it in, and you have a good fender. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm contemplating. I really don't want to cut up a good fender. So, I think this is the fender to use, truthfully, because this would be a little less welding. I'm looking at it a different way. I think it'd be a little less welding, maybe. I don't know. But I'd look at it a little different, because this down here you wouldn't have to disturb, and then you wouldn't have to disturb the antenna hole. See, already that's, you know, already been shaved off. But even though it really wasn't shaved, just was never there to begin with. So that's 2 areas right there I wouldn't have to worry about. Regardless, you're still going to have to weld down here. And then really the only welding would be right here, because I might cut this off. And I don't know, I might be able to straighten that. I don't know. But I think this would be the fender to use. This is the better one. So we'll figure it out. And then this is the driver's side one, and what I could do is I do have the other fender, and I don't care about that one because that's old junk overseas fender, and I don't care. I'll cut that one if I gotta cut it. But even though I'd really prefer not to do that because it was not a cheap fender, but it doesn't matter anymore. But we could cut that whole bottom off of this one and take our repop fender and probably come up with something, because this fender looks like it's fairly decent. I don't see anything too awful bad. And there's the undercoating. See, whoever undercoat this stuff, you know, they just undercoat the living heck out of it, and it's just, look at that, it got ruins in it and just really trashy looking. So, you know, all that I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna clean all that up. So I will say though, it had preserved most of the fender. If they would have got down there a little bit better, it probably would have, this fender would have been perfect. But I think this fender is this will be decent. So I want to see too. It should. I guarantee you, this lip is different on that repop fender. I know it's got to be curved different. Something's different, because if y'all remember, we got a heck of a gap there. But alrighty, so let's see what we got here. I'm gonna take this fender. Let's set it on the car here and kind of see what we got. No, this one might line up a little bit better. I think. So I remember trying it back in 2016. It might line up a little better. So, yes, I know it's got a gap there. I'm not worried about that. It's because the fender's laying down. See, if we line it up, pick it up, I think we'll. And then we'll have to put some shims under there. I think we'll get this thing pretty lined up. Line it up with that body line as good as we can get it. Maybe over just a little bit. The door's out of alignment too, so yeah, it'll close that gap right up. It's much better. It looks a little goofy because, again, it's no shims on there, so that's why it's not completely perfect. But yeah, I think this fender would be the one to go with. Fix the bottom of it and fix the front. I like this one better. But yeah, see, that goes to show, you know, I know I don't have no repop fender for this side, but that, I mean, it lines up beautiful. So I guarantee you. Let me show y'all real quick. I'll prove it to y'all here. But thing stand up here. We need it to stand right there. Let's see. Hold on. Alright, so we'll go on and line that up, and I'll pick this thing up here. And get this thing kind of lined up where it kind of would be. So, roughly right about something like that. Yeah, I think this will line up. Let me adjust the door a little bit too. I think we'll be alright. Hopefully the bottom, yeah, the bottom's in there. We got a lot of movement too, see. Yeah, I had it pretty flush against that, so I think that'll look much better. So I don't know, I think we're going to use that fender. That's what I'm thinking. So that's what I'm thinking here. I think it will look fairly decent. So, oh well. If I waste my time taking that other fender down to bare metal, that's fine. I don't really care. But it don't. This one won't take as long because this one don't have all that undercoating. The undercoater king there didn't mess with this one, so this one shouldn't take as long. But what is up with people backing in the fenders? I just cannot figure that out. I guess because the fender is low, and somebody must have had a truck with a bumper that was up to here and backed into it, because this one's got the same dent. Every 66 Chevelle, just 66s that I've ever seen, I know it's 67 body, but besides the point, but every 66 I've ever seen has got a dent right in this corner right here somewhere. Because the 66 I had, the 300 Deluxe, somebody backed into this side and crushed this in. So, I don't know. They didn't, luckily, they just messed the fender up. You could actually pull it back out. But, alright, let's see if we can fix this gap here. I want to see out of curiosity. I'm just trying to get a feel for things, and so I got to get rid of this ugly gap. I can't stand that. So, I swear up and down this fender is not stamped right. I know you could probably splice it and make it work. But, oh, that's something else I didn't think of too. I'm glad y'all thought about that in the comments. Yeah, if I cut that bottom of that fender off and use this bottom, or this body line is right here, down, I'm going to have a heck of a gap on the other fender too, so. I don't don't know. We're going to have to figure something out. We might not be able to do that. I was thinking about cutting that out because I don't care about this fender. This is old overseas fender. It's nothing special. Just a high dollar junk Taiwan fender. I don't know. Maybe we'll scratch that idea. We'll figure something out. I was going to cut that bottom of that off and put it in that good original GM fender and go that route with it. So, I don't know. We'll see. I know that's a good idea too. I thought about doing that. Come in here and cut this section out right in here. Instead of don't cut it back here, but back in here, you might be able to flip it around on the other fender. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna grab some tools. We'll pull this off. We gotta figure out something here. Let's see if we can get rid of that ugly gap. All right, folks. Let's get this junk fender off here. I'm tired of looking at it. So let's get her on off here. I know y'all been wanting to see this thing come off. Hopefully there ain't no bees on the under here. Those things that slither. And there's a junk fender. Alrighty. First of all, I want to see something. I don't know. Does the edge look different? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it looks curved in more. Alright, let me fix this. Tail. Well, that ain't any better. Maybe that's better. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I think it's definitely curved in more. That's what it looks like. It definitely looks like it's curved in more. So, let's see what we got. Let's see it. Alright, let's see what we got here. Yeah, let's clean this up. Hold on. Poor old girl, she needs some love. Oh, yeah. Good God, yeah, what a difference. I know y'all can't really see it, but Alright, it's gonna be hard to do. I gotta pick up on it because it's, you know, the nose of it is leaning. But yeah, watch that gap right there. I can try to pick it up the right way. Lean it. There we go. Oh yeah. Something. There we go. Up. Oh yeah, that's much better. Yeah. We could tweak the bottom of it, but yeah. Yeah, it's going to fix it. That's going to get rid of that. What a world of difference. See, when you put original GM sheet metal back on, that fixes a lot of issues. So, yeah, look at that stamp, and that curve is definitely off. Because even when you pick this fender up, I mean, it closes that gap right on up. So, I know it's just kind of tweaking it, but yeah, see, look at that. Line that up. That'll line up pretty good there. So I know it's got a gap there. It's, again, this will close up once you pick the fender up like that. And then you line the bottom up. See that? That's going to make a beautiful gap. Yeah, it'll fix that. That'll straighten it right out. And this door's not too far off. It needs to go up just a little bit this way at the back. But it's a little bit off, maybe 3/8 of an inch. But it needs to come up just a shade. Well, the whole thing, really. But that body line's a little bit off. But yeah, that's going to correct a lot of that. So this is a 66. I'm pretty sure it's a 66. No, that's a 67 door. Yeah, it's off a 67. And then this door is a 66. If you didn't know how to tell the difference, I mean, it's pretty much the exact same door. Only way you can really tell them apart is a buddy of mine that I bought the car off of taught me this. Is you come on the door right here, and you come in this area where the window regulator is, or your window crank goes, and go right below it. And there is a date code, which is A6. Was it A16 or January? I think it's actually the 11th. Yeah, I can't quite make it out. But January could be the 11th. I don't think it'd be the 1st because that'd be New Year's Eve. I don't know. It could have been. I don't know. But January 1966 is the date on it. But that's how you can tell. It's by that date. Yeah, January. It might be the 1st. I don't know. Or January. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. But that's the only way you can tell. But yeah, this is gonna be a decent car. We'll have the front clip. That should straighten out the front clip and get it up, you know, up to par where it needs to be. And again, I had to figure out what's what with the clips and all that stuff, because the clips, I bought all new hardware for this thing, and it's sad because a lot of the hardware for this front clip is oops, I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to flip it over. But I bought all new bolts and everything like that. And you know, y'all can see. And half the stuff is, you know, now missing. So I mean, see, look at this. Even the inner fender doesn't even line up correctly to the fender. It's just pure junk. So hopefully a lot of these clips I will get back off and clean them up, and we will reuse. And I think I do have the valveless paint on. I do remember that, but it's a repop. So I'll have to find a good original GM one, and I'll make my mind up and figure out something on you know, this repop sheet metal stuff. So this stuff is, you know, wasted $2,000 back then. I bought everything, literally a whole new front clip, repop front clip, except for this fender here, and the stuff just don't fit worth a darn. Just complete junk. And so we'll figure it out. I can't remember if I got a 66 front bumper or not. I know I got a 66 rear bumper, so we'll figure something out. But I'll do one more thing before we end the video, and I promise I'm not that rough on stuff. I don't care about that because it's overseas junk. I'm not worried about it. But, you know, I'm not going to be rough on good original GM sheet metal. So, let's see out of curiosity. I want to see, I swear up and down this lip is off on the other fender. It's got to be. But, because before, it don't matter how much you adjust that thing. It just looked like complete trash. And it just looked trashy looking when I had that fender on here. So, alright, I want to see something out of curiosity. So, we can quit going out of focus. Alright, so I laid them against each other, well, sort of. And, man, it's quite a bit of difference in curve there. This one's going downhill a little bit. It's kind of straight. But, man, you could see that edge is folded over a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot thicker here too. I noticed that. It looks a little thicker. That's probably what the issue was. A couple people told me too you can slot these more to get these repop fenders to go back further, but I don't know. See, it's got a hole on the original, and it's got slots there. So, when you come down, there's this one, still got that. And I got this one, that's that one, that one. And this is pretty much gone, but this brace looks wide. So, a lot of this stuff, a lot of people don't talk about, but the reason why this stuff doesn't fit right is because, well, for one, I don't think they really care. The company that makes it doesn't really care, but they can't make it 100% correct like the original sheet metal because they'll get sued. That's the problem. Is, you know, GM's got the patents to all the original stamps and everything, and then if somebody out there like AMD or something like that, you know, decides to repop this stuff, and you know, they can get sued. That's why they can't make it 100%. That's why you see, you know, it's got a hole right here versus a slot on this one. And if you look, see, it's more, this is more clean, a lot more clean lines, where this is more round. So, you know, that's why they can't do that 100%. So, and, you know, you can just kind of little details like that. So this bead is a little bit skinnier, and then this one's a little bit skinnier than that. So that, you know, I don't know. And you can also look too on these slots right here. This one looks like it's a little more narrow, and then this one's a little longer. I don't know, it looks like it. I just noticed that too. Yep. See what I'm saying? See, this has got a, this is countersunk right here with the nut, and then this is just flush. So, you know, just little things like that is going to throw stuff off. But even though this nut is flush with this, you know, this is flush with that, the hood hinge should sit in the same spot. But I've seen a couple videos where they had to actually take and go in here. I film sideways, sorry. But they had to go on this lip and undo all these spot welds at that fold, and then pry this up and re-weld that edge back up, because the fender was sitting, the top of that fender was sitting below the hood. So it's just a can of worms with these fenders here. The inner fenders, I'd say you could use, but, you know, half the stuff don't even line up right. So you got issue after issue. That's pretty bad. It's the same brand. That's AMD, and this is AMD. It don't even line up. So you got one hole here, it doesn't even, not even close, and then you got this one right here, not even close. That's 2. That one's a little bit off, but you could probably get a bolt in that if you drilled it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these didn't even line up either. 5, 6, those did, I think. And then it's, look, 7 right here, that doesn't even line up. This is why I just not going to deal with all the headaches. And it's just, now the inner fender you could fix. You'd have to go back and weld all 7, 8 of them holes, whatever, up, and have to re-drill them out. And that's just a pain in the rear end, to make it fit. The inner fenders, I think, I would use, because, that's not too big of a deal. But the fender itself, at least with the inner fender, you can fit that right to original fender and you really won't notice it that much. But trying to fit a repop fender and an inner fender and, to original sheet metal, that's why I think I had half the issues I did. But yep, just not going to deal with it. So we're going to clean this fender up, put that back on, and that'll eliminate a lot of issues. And the whole front clip will be, well, pretty much the whole car is going to be just about all original sheet metal. And later on I will find a GM radiator support, find the lower valves, and I'd like to find good original, not tore up, but usable, driver quality, not tore to pieces and dented all up, bumpers for this thing. I'm not, again, I'd rather spend the money, not right now, I can't afford it right now, but I'd rather spend the money later on and re-chrome good original Chevelle bumpers, GM bumpers, than that overseas junk, buying stuff that you got to drill holes in your frame and, trying to force everything to fit right, and I just don't want to deal with it. So, but yeah, trying to get rid of a lot of the, overseas sheet metal in this car, because that eliminates a lot of issues. And again, I had a good original taillight panel and I scrapped it like an idiot. And I had a good original, it was rough, but it was fixable, 67 hood too. So I could have made this car 67 like it's supposed to be if I wanted. But like a dummy, I give the hood away and then I scrapped the 67 taillight panel like an idiot. So, but that's why I don't scrap anything anymore, because you don't know what you need. And even then, if it's not even, for the same car, you can still take and cut out patch panels and, turn around and use them on like something like the F-150, if you've got rust issues in that, you can do that. Or your old Biscayne, don't quit throwing away, fenders and hoods and all that just to get money for scrap. That's how you truly save money. But all right, so I'm gonna get back at it here and figure out something. I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do about this side. I already know this side we're gonna use this fender regardless. We're going to fix this one, and like I said, I do not mind putting time in good original sheet metal, because I know it'll bulk up right, and it's much rather deal with that than deal with junk like that. So anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do, and then we'll figure out, decide what I'm gonna do on this side. I really prefer to use this fender. This fender's a lot cleaner, and it's still got a dent right there, but might be a little bit pitted right in here, but I think it'll clean up. It's fairly clean. It might be the factory paint. I'm not 100%, but you can see the wood bees or something got in there. But I think this one will clean up. But that's the worst area, I think, is the front right there. So yeah, and plus it's shaved already, so I don't have to worry about that. Yep, I'll figure that out. I think we're going to use this one, because this one's a lot better. I'd rather fix the front of it than deal with all that other stuff. But that's all right. That's kind of what happens. And I had plenty of doors too. And so I think the doors that are on this car is pretty much, that's the best of the doors anyway. So these two doors are the best out of the other doors I have. So I got two really cruddy ones, but I'm not gonna stick them on here. But these are the best out of I don't know, 7, 8 of them. So I'll probably end up using these and going that route on them. So alrighty, so getting a little bit lengthy on the video. So we're getting it straightened out. It's just time to get this thing put together. And I think I showed the hood. I can't remember. I'll show that real quick, but that'll be it. Oh, and that's the other inner fender. I know I kind of showed that, but we'll have two good original inner fenders. And this inner fender had a sad story behind it, but this inner fender I had in the back of my truck, my 78 GMC. And when I got an accident back in 2016, this fender was in the back of my bed, and this fender got chucked probably about 50, 60 foot, and was laying on the highway. And luckily, you know, it didn't tear it up. I don't know how, but it did not tear it up at all. So that fender is, shoot, that thing was probably about 50 foot in the air, because I was going about 45, 50 mile an hour and rear-ended somebody. So that was completely my fault. But that was in my 78 GMC, and I got some old videos on here. I ended up scrapping that truck because, you know, I didn't want nobody else to fix it up and you know, have to see it going up and down the road. I just don't like it, you know. I want it to be the last owner of it, so that's why I've scrapped it. But yeah, that fender was about 50 foot in there. That's crazy, but it didn't tear it up though. It didn't tear it up. So I always had a notice on these fenders. Some of these, I don't know, I always had that little dimple right there. I never noticed that. So I don't know if they all had that or not. But yeah, that fender was about 50 foot in the air, and the thing was, I don't know, this thing is probably about 100 foot away from my truck. I remember I had to pick it up, and the fire department, you know, they grabbed it and threw it in the back of my truck. And I was like, don't throw that in the back of my truck. That stuff is rare. But luckily it didn't get tore up, so yep. So this is the hood here. This is good old buddy and After 5 Auto. Go check his channel out. But this is the hood that he gave me here, and I'm gonna straighten it out a little bit. This hood is like really nice. It's very solid hood. It's very clean, and you know, stuff don't rust down there like it does up here. And it's actually, well, I say up here, I'm making it seem like it's, you know, 5,000 miles away, but it's really not. But this is a very nice hood, and matter of fact, I need to go pick up some other things too. But this is a nice hood. It's got one little dent, but I'm not worried about it. But I think I can actually get that out. So it's got a fairly decent piece of trim on it too. Got a couple dings in it, but I'm not too worried about that. But the main thing is the nose is not rotted out. But this hood is very nice, and tickled to death with it. So we'll be getting on this here soon. So hold on here. There we go. So we'll be getting on this here soon. I mean, this is an excellent hood. I mean, it's not rotted out anywhere. So never seen a hood this nice before. So got a little bit of something going on there, but I can fix that. So the other side's fine. So this is a good usable hood. And if it comes down to it too, I might be able to take, and I got that other Dynacorn hood, and we'll see. Oops, try not to smash my hand there. It's that wall. But I could probably come in here and push this out as much as I can. I got the other hood, and it comes down to it, like I said, I'm not worried about that overseas junk. We'll cut that section out and weld that piece in if we got to. But that'll be a last resort. We'll try and push it out. I think we got a little access hole under there. We might be able to get to it. Yeah, we might be able to get up under there. I think we can get to it because there's a, yep, right there. We might be able to, if we could get that pulled out a little bit better. But I'm not sure what happened. Looks like somebody backed into it. What is up with people backing into 66 Chevelles? I just don't understand that. It's like a curse. Poor old cars. People always backing into them. I guess because they're so low. And people don't pay attention. I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Alright. I'll see y'all later. At least now we pretty much got our front clip just about pieced together, so I think we're going to be in decent shape again. So, and buddy, if you're watching, you know who you are. I need some more sheet metal, buddy. Let me know. I need some more sheet metal. I'm getting low here, so let me know. So, I need some more sheet metal to work on the Plymouth, and I'm gonna need some more here soon to fix this Chevelle front clip stuff. So, all right, see y'all later. Bye.